one. Wow. Hi. I like the lighting in here.
All right,
Yeah, we're
so we've
obsessed
got
with the
three
lighting.
more for you. Adrienne Flicky.
Hi.
Erica Sarah.
Beautiful and intelligent.
And Elena Huffman. Oh, geez, that's nice.
It's a very long round back
So if you've got questions, oh, you're already all lined up.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
We'll start over here on this side of the house.
Okay. The superhero industry has always been, for the most part, male-driven. How do you guys feel playing such iconic female characters?
Well, I beg to differ because some of the best comic book characters in the world are female. You got Supergirl, you got Wonder Woman, you got Rogue, you got Jean Grey. You got some really amazing women out there. So, but you're right. Our industry is kind of male-dominated. Period.
I think it feels good to be able to play any character that is three-dimensional, that isn't just the one thing that supports the other characters. You know, we always talk about the gender thing, and we're, of course, female, so we have to do that quite a bit. But if you get opportunity where you feel like you have a bit of your own storyline or something that you're doing for yourself, it feels pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think any opportunity to play a multi-layered character I'll speak for women.
Yeah,
But yeah, any opportunity you have to play a character that's strong and sensitive, and all the other things in between is wonderful, so yeah.
It's fun. Should totally play a superhero one day. Thanks, Olivia.
Thank you.
Hi, Kristen, I know you like to read.
Do.
Do you ever end up like overanalyzing scripts? Like, do you read it like you read a book? Do you get in your own head?
Listen, I'll read a script and I will put so many things into that script that is not there. It's got me into trouble. I've said yes to things and been like, oh wait, Kristen, that's not, that was not in the script. You made that up.
You looked for too many layers?
I looked for too many layers. There were no layers. Sometimes there are no layers. Yes, but yes.
Bring the layers, girl.
Sure, yes.
Bring
You
them.
try.
Try.
But it's good to ask the question, do we overthink? Yes.
Do we overthink? Do we?
I do. How does everyone feel? My answer, which it wasn't even a question for me. So,
Erica definitely overthinks.
I'll have a chat with myself later.
Did you see Rosie's shirt today? It says,
Yes.
let me overthink.
Yes, he likes to think too.
You read like 3 pages of script notes on that Scotty doesn't know scene.
That is one I did not overthink. I was like, oh, you want me to go to Budapest? Okay, yes, sure, I'd love to.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
You know what's funny? I did this, I don't know if you guys have had this experience yet. I did a movie last year and I was a little confused on some of the dialogue and stuff, and it was the first time I was like, was this a ChatGPT script? Like I really was like, did somebody write this or did something?
That's just
Y'all have that
terrifying.
yet?
That's terrifying.
Yeah. It's out there.
It's out there.
Hi everyone. So I watched the show for a very long time, and everyone who has been the biggest influence on me has helped me be a person I am today. How much they made me everyone always says how nice I am and understanding I am, and I think that's because Clark was the person that was the biggest understanding. But you all were so great in the show. What was your favorite thing about being on the show?
I think for me, it was always the relationships and the people, and we were really, really lucky. We were talking about this in Toronto on a panel, but even after the show has ended, we've been able to have these relationships and build these friendships deeper and deeper, and that's been the best part about Smallville for me anyway.
I think being part of or jumping on a moving train, because I didn't join in the beginning, I already knew the success of it, and that it is such a well-loved story. I think that getting to play a character for more than 6 episodes or a year, getting to actually flesh something out is so much fun. And you do get an opportunity to build camaraderie and a sense of family in a work environment that generally, or a vocation where you basically feel like you don't have any roots, you get to have roots.
It was a warm environment for sure, but I mean, I was only in 1 episode. But I'll tell you this, I had a Supergirl tattoo. I grew up with comic books. My brother's a comic book writer, and I loved comic books, so I already had that tattoo. So when I got to play Kara Zor-El, I was like, this is my dream. And then they're like, nope, it's not your dream anymore. But I had that moment in time, and I got to fly, and that was very cool. Here's that.
I mean, my experience was slightly many different characters. So every time I came to the show, everyone was lovely and gracious, and I had a really wonderful time with all of the alter egos I had over the course of the years. So,
John Glover.
John Glover.
We love you, man.
And we got John Glover. It's the same thing. I think walking into such a big family I've walked into a lot of shows sort of later on in the seasons, and it's always so nice to walk into a big family that's established, and I always just feel like I get to jump in and play, and this was no different. So, and also to play a superhero and to jump into something as epic as a Justice League situation it's rad. You should totally be a superhero, I said.
Thank you.
Hi, this is a question for Kristen. How did you feel when being Clark's main interest for the main love interest for the show? How did you feel when Erica came on, knowing that Clark would slowly drift away from Lana and go towards Lois?
I get asked.
Thank you.
I get asked this a lot, and I didn't think about it. Really, it's tough because, and I've talked about this so much, but as women on Smallville, a lot of the time our roles were, especially if you were a love interest, were in relationship to Clark. So everything we did and how we were perceived was in relationship to Clark. And when women came on, we became each other's competition because it was about Clark. But in reality, I mean, it's not like that. People fall in love, they have first loves. Often your first love is not the love you spend the last days of your life with. And these are beautiful moments in people's existences. And Lana was never going to be the one Clark married, at least not in our world. We didn't really have that we didn't have this alternate universe feeling to our show. But Erica coming in was wonderful. It was the progression of the show, and she brought energy and life, and she took something and moved it in a new direction.
Thank
and
you so much.
that was fantastic.
You didn't.
Also, other Erica.
I thought you were talking about you weren't, but carry on.
Hi everyone. So Smallville has given a lot of us as fans a lot of great emotional scenes that no matter how many times you see them, still can bring tears to my eyes. So I was wondering, of any TV show, any movie for you guys, no matter how many times you guys watch it, what makes you emotional every single time, and why?
I mean, it really depends on what time of my life it is. Thursday of every month. Thanks for crying.
You can't cheat and say like Schindler's List or something. You know what I mean? It has to be something that like you just like hone in on.
It's a really good question.
You
know what I love is the end of Pride and Prejudice. There's two different Pride and Prejudice. The one with Colin Firth, because I love him and I worship him, and I would love to be a part of that. I love when she's playing the piano and they do the shot of him when he looks up at her for the first time and lets her know that he loves her. So that always gives me goosebumps. And then the other Pride and Prejudice, when he marches across the field, and he's like, I love you.
And he can barely get it out. I was gonna say, I love the second one because it's like talk about a cinematic like moment. Every single shot in that film is a literal like piece of art.
He's so good.
He's so good, so sexy. Yeah, that's
Maybe even read
in
the
that
book.
movie.
Oh no, it's like romantic, but every time I watch it, I
Watch
get
one of the
emotional.
two.
Watch them both. Compare.
Anybody else have like scenes?
I mean, I cry at commercials.
Like Sarah McLachlan, one of the dogs?
That's not fair. I cry at
Life,
personally.
like Eric was saying, like it depends on what's happening in life. It's like everything.
I definitely, on the plane here, I watched Nonna. Have you guys?
Yes.
Nonnas?
I'm Italian, and I cried the entire time on the plane because I no longer have that anymore. Like, if you haven't seen it, it's about a man and his family, and he wanted to relive his family with opening a restaurant. Anyways, I cried the whole time, but it's because of the stage that I am in my life. If I watched it 10
being
years
on an
ago, I
airplane.
wouldn't have cried. And being on an airplane, that was.
There's a real scientific thing about being on an airplane and watching a movie.
Yes.
No, it's weird. Like, I definitely remember connecting with the woman next to me when I saw Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I'm not kidding. It's a true story. And we're both sitting there, and we're both just looking at each other like, just sobbing.
What is happening to us? Because we're either crying or everybody's like, they're putting something
Or both.
It's not good.
I can't think of anything. It's not to say that it doesn't exist.
All the
I just can't
nonsense
think
threw
of
you off.
It's a good question though, thank you.
But I think there's like feel-good shows too, right? Like a lot of people connect over
Good
like
cry.
the feel-good shows, which I find draws a lot of crowds in for this type of stuff. So yeah, I think just honestly it comes down to like empathy and connection, and our job as storytellers is to be empathetic and to connect. So I'm glad that it's working.
One of you mentioned dogs, I think it was Erica, and like, when you said that, mine actually is the ending scene of Homeward Bound. With
my
Shadow.
God.
Like, no matter how many times. So that kind of made me like, I'm gonna ask this question.
Just as like a side note, what was with a lot of the Disney movies, like when we were growing up?
They were trying to traumatize us.
It was really this old yeller.
Yeah. Well, that was just wrong.
Trauma to prepare you.
I know.
Don't get a dog.
I fully believe into that though. We're much thicker skinned, so I don't know. There might be something to that. Just traumatize everyone and just prepare them for the horrible things that
People need to be left at home alone. Like my children, that's who want a credit card.
my children are home alone right now.
Usually.
Should I bless someone with them?
Do the credit card.
That's wrong.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Hi.
My question is for Kristen and Erica. So thinking about your favorite episodes that you starred in together, what was your favorite and why was it Spell?
Spell was ridiculous, but I feel like we did have the most together in Spell.
Yeah.
Did we ever have any other real scenes together?
No, we would just
You were
like
really funny in Spell.
terrified.
You were so funny.
So I had done the four episodes, and then that was the first one I came back where they had decided, oh, you could be in the show.
Okay.
So then I was neurotic again.
Oh, of course.
And they're like, while you're doing that, why don't you play that you're possessed?
Yeah.
Of course. And talk about your body parts. So it's like, done!
Sure, I'd love to.
Sure, turn yourself into
But you were very funny.
I thought you were very funny.
Oh, okay. But I
We
had
didn't
to
get
watch
time.
it recently.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
It was funny. And that's all we did together, isn't it? I feel like we had no other scenes
Corsets.
together.
It was definitely the best one. You guys crushed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi ladies. I was a teen in the late 90s and early 2000s where it was common for media to objectify women. I am now a mother. I'm now a mother of a 6-year-old daughter, and I find myself making sure that the media that she's absorbing is that have powerful female characters. So I'm wondering if like the roles that you consider have changed, I guess since the early 2000s or when you first entered in the industry and until now, how that has changed for you guys.
Erica?
Erica. I don't understand the question.
I think the writing has changed based on the times changing as well. So like there's definitely, and I think in storytelling too, with comic characters, comic book characters, there's always been a strength in a lot of the women in it. Obviously, they've been objectified with what they're wearing. But like, other than that, the strength in the characters have come through, and I feel like with times changing, there are more and more female characters and female leads, which is important.
I feel like that's been happening for a while. Sorry, that's maybe why I didn't understand. You're saying more
She said early 90s, so
Okay.
or late 90s, sorry.
When did you see a change then, I guess? When did you start to see that?
I mean, I guess I've been very fortunate to have a career where I have played more stronger characters, so maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just my outlook is a little bit.
The characters who have been strong, but maybe not the main headliner.
Oh, I see.
You know, like things have changed for us. I feel like.
Thanks for calling me out, Erica.
Every time somebody else got Erica, that was a bad question.
Do you know, I was thinking about that question, and I had a smart-ass comment, which is like, when you're in your 40s, nobody's asking you to wear like leather tights, so it changes. But quite honestly, one could always look back and go, with the age I am now, with the information I have now, would I have done something different before? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I still look back at it and I feel like I grew and I learned something from it, and you just kind of keep going with it. I find more that it's harder for me to fit myself into a specific box anymore. So specific types of shows that are out, I don't know if it's my age, and yeah, this is like therapy. But like I'm getting to a point, I'm like literally getting to a point that I almost cannot go onto a set and work at a show where I know partway through I'm not gonna be able to find myself, but then this guy shows up and then I can find myself and then I'm in love and then my life works out, and you know, they don't get offered that anymore. So I think I'm giving that vibe. So
you made a really good point though. Like, it's hard for us to actually even gauge that because, you know, early 90s or the late 90s. I keep saying early 90s. In the late 90s, we were all given parts that were very different and very age appropriate, where we're not necessarily given those parts anymore. So it's hard to gauge how it's changed for somebody who is 20. You know. It's not me.
Well,
That's a great answer.
My daughter's 19 and she's reading for a lot of
I can't
these
believe it.
roles. And like,
are they
there's,
changing? Like, is she having?
I think
it's changing.
I do think the roles are like more fleshed out and more rounded, and I think we went through this trajectory where we were like just strong, hard-ass women, and that's great, and the pendulum swung, but I also don't want to lose like softness and femininity, right? Like I don't, like one of my characters, Abaddon. Everyone loved her on Supernatural. She's this like badass woman. She wasn't human. She had no empathy. She was, you know, that's what took her out. And another character that I learned so much from is my character on Stargate, TJ, and she bothered me. She bothered me so much because she was so vulnerable and it made me uncomfortable. And I learned so much from her about how to be strong and use your vulnerability and be vulnerable, and that that's not a weakness. So I think balance, we're whole people, and we go through trajectory. Like the most dynamic women I know are older women. Those are stories that I would love to hear being told, but we have to tell them. We can't rely on somebody else. Now they gotta put us in rooms, or we gotta create our own rooms. But I do think it's changing, and I think we have the possibility. We just can't complain about it, we gotta do something about it.
Right. Thank you.
And also, I would recommend for anybody that's around our age, who's female, around 40s, I say 40s, even into your late 30s, there's a book I read called Girl on Girl. There's more to the title. It is excellent. It's an excellent analysis of what was happening in the 90s and early aughts that impacted all of us, and will kind of give you a sense that you might not agree with everything in her argumentation, but I found that it really contextualized my experience, because what you're talking about was my battle every day on Smallville in many ways, and I think there's space now, there's room for young women to have avenues to speak up, to have a voice that I did not have.
Right.
I did not have.
Can I say one more thing, just with respects to being a mom? I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I understand that obviously we want to be aware of what it is that they're watching in the outside world, because of course that's going to make an impression on them. But you are her teacher. You are the one that will teach your daughter to be who she's going to be, help guide her, you know what I mean? And the amount of times I encounter people that are like, oh, teenagers, right? Girls, oh, they're the worst. I'm like, my daughter is amazing. My daughter's 13 years old, she's kind, she's sweet, don't get me wrong, she can have her moments. But like overall, she is a strong and confident young lady, and I'm so proud of her. So, and I will take credit. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, I taught her to follow those instincts, so, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a good question.
Go ahead.
So, mine is for Erica, the one who played as Lois. Sorry. And I was wondering, so like, how do you feel being, in my opinion, the bravest woman in Smallville?
See, it doesn't matter how old you get, it's really nice to have a heartfelt compliment. First of all, I'm really grateful that, for the most part, when people talk to me about Lois, they feel that they have seen somebody that was human, and they felt like she was a relatable person, and I think that is one of my biggest takeaways from being able to be part of that character. She had these aspects of her that could potentially be something that you can't be, and then she would do something and be very, very silly or make mistakes and mess up and then just try again. And I love the fact that she could go against the same things Clark did, but she had no powers other than just her brain, her wit, and all of those things to rely on. And so I'm very, very grateful to have been able to play that character. Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you for each and one of you for your job, and you guys did an amazing job in Smallville. It was phenomenal for making my childhood. But my question is for Elena. What kind of storyline would you have wanted in your role in Smallville if you had the chance? Because I feel like we haven't seen enough of you in there.
I agree. So my origin story, like I did not, when I went in for the audition, I went in with dummy sides, and so I didn't know who the character was. It was just 2 pages. I went into the office, and I think my scene was with Lois, and then I got the job, and then they were like, they're not going to tell you, it's like a top confidential thing, and they're not going to tell you who it is, and I was like, how am I going to prepare? And then they told me, and then I looked up the Black Canary, and I was like, wow, there's so much mythology on her, it's so cool. And what I really love still to this day about the Black Canary is she does have this, like, she's strong, she's smart, she's, you know, she's very capable, but she also has this beautiful, vulnerable relationship with the Green Arrow. And we didn't explore that. I mean, I worked with Justin a lot, and he's a blast, and I think we did some really cool stuff on the superhero side. But that whole part is a big part of the mythology of the Black Canary and Green Arrow storyline, and so we didn't explore that. But yeah, so I think that's the only aspect of it that I felt was missing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My question is, if each of you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Honestly, I've always just wanted to fly.
I know it's basic. but I'm with you. The flying thing, like, wouldn't that be just so great
wonderful.
to soar?
Yes. And in our dreams, when it happens, it feels so good.
I'm afraid of heights.
That one's not
You
fair.
wouldn't fall.
Yeah, you don't fall.
You don't fall, you're flying.
Okay.
It's your dream. You get to do what you want to do.
I think I'd want to be invisible. I don't know, I just feel like that's so, like, you could just go anywhere and do anything, and like...
No one would know.
No one would know. It's not even to be sneaky or to spy. I just feel like you could just walk on a plane. I'm gonna go to Europe.
Sit on some guy's lap.
It might feel me, I don't know.
Super strength.
Really? Like, you knew that? I love that you just were like, yeah, it's fun.
Teleportation would be cool though too, because like honestly, even like thinking about flying when I was growing up was like my favorite. Now like teleportation, you don't even have to like waste the time.
I mean,
That's
true. You
just why am I invisible? I can teleport, right?
Let me overthink this. Can I like flying for like a month, and then if it doesn't work out, I can. That'd be great.
Just hop around.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I think that would be mine, teleportation, or like just, yeah.
Changed mine again. Because it makes more sense.
Now it's all teleportation.
I don't have to fly.
That's a good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, first off, I wanted to thank you. I am who I am today because I grew up watching you ladies. But I have a question. If you're home alone and it's raining and the power's out, what are you doing for fun to just pass the time?
There's no power, so candlelight. We can have candlelight.
You can have candlelight.
Or fire.
How long is the power off?
What are you doing?
Is my phone charged for the break? Do I have a friend over? That changes everything.
I mean, if there's enough light, I'd read. I think board games would be fun. If there's like candles.
If you have friends.
Yeah, I don't know by myself. If I'm by myself,
Can we all be by ourselves?
Your alter egos is
together?
Is there like a water heater? Like, can we take like a bath?
you can take a bath.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the power's up, but.
Depends how cold it is
It
outside.
depends on what's in the water.
Okay.
I would sleep.
I would curl up on the couch with my dog and I'd have a glass of wine.
You're alone. I
I
gotta be
can't go with
honest.
my dog.
No, we're alone. We're alone.
We're alone. Oh, we're alone.
John,
alone.
the
Phone a friend.
first thing I thought is like, go to sleep.
Yeah. Again,
Dark.
wine.
Is there wine?
Is there wine?
Right, some.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Of course there's
perfect.
wine.
Yeah.
Our phones work. We can text our friends.
Power. Oh, but
Well, they die.
Everyone's
Uncharged.
Depends on how long the power's out.
This is a horror movie waiting to happen. This is exactly my worst fear.
I should have asked you as last girl if this was a
Who is last girl in this? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I
Like
don't know horror
who
lore.
lasts?
Yeah.
Which one of us dies
the
first?
last girl of a horror movie.
All right. Like we all die except for the one. And then it's like
I don't die.
the sun comes up and she's all bloody and walking like, I survived.
I've already decided you all die.
You're the last one.
I'm not
Really? I didn't kill anybody though, right? No?
Only if you had to.
I mean, do you want to survive that? All your friends die and you're just like,
I want to go out first. Wait.
yeah.
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
AI
take me
takeover.
I don't want to make it to the end.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, like,
don't wanna
did y'all ever watch Walking Dead? Like that show, I'm like, why are they fighting so hard to survive? It's so good. And then like season 4, I'm like, okay, we get it. Humans suck. The zombies are not the problem, y'all. We are.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's funny how she just talked about zombies. That kind of goes into my next question. Mine is for both Erica and Kristen. So we've seen Kristen play as Lana Lang. We've seen her play a witch, vampire, and just recently, if you're following Talkville, she also had Clark's powers. We've seen Erica as a witch, a zombie,
A zombie?
Egyptian goddess.
Yep.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, and then
Wrestler.
the Love Struck episode where she's love struck on Clark Kent in season 6. What was your favorite out of character role that you got to play, Erica and Kristen?
Listen, Isabella was clearly the most like she had a character that was absurd, but she was a character that was over multiple episodes. But maybe it's because of proximity bias, I guess, but when we were talking about Wrath and I watched the episode, I thought that was really interesting. There was just so much juice in it, and so maybe maybe that kind of darker part of Lana coming out through the corruption of Clark's powers, her trauma coming to the surface through violence and her anger. That's pretty fun stuff.
Did Isis have a wardrobe change?
You had played Isis?
I had
But I had
the
Isis
white
Foundation. Wow, they were obsessed with Isis.
Just cranking out the new storylines. There was an outfit that I wore where I wore a purple shirt, and I was possessed by something. I enjoyed that because I had an immense amount of power. Who was that? Feora. Oh, I liked her.
Yeah.
I liked her the best. She had the most clothes on and the most. At that point, I was over it. I've been there enough years that I was like,
I don't need to have my
bring
tits out
in
anymore.
someone new. I don't want to do it anymore.
She also beat up Clark.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
That is actually one of my favorite episodes, and I think that's why Erica wants the super strength, because to get you back for that.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Always trying to get back.
Get me back.
I have a comment and one question for Kristen. My comment is that one of you ladies who might be in their 40s was mentioning that we need to think about older women a certain way. I'm the same age as Kristen, and none of us are old. That's what I want to
None of us are old.
Well, I'm not in my 40s.
That was not ever to be construed as a, we're all.
Well, they're old. 40 is, yeah.
We're 40s.
40 is
40
midlife.
Yeah.
We're middle-aged.
So my question for Kristen, and first of all, I saw you in the hall earlier and you were so gracious. So on the show, Clark is an unreliable dating partner.
Holding there.
Disappearing, going just AWOL. And then Lana's character is always accusing Clark of having some sort of secret, but of course she doesn't think that he's like from another
Alien?
planet or alien. No. So what on Earth, like the actual Earth, does Lana think Clark's deep, dark secret is?
Okay, listen. You're asking me this question, and I'm like, wow, that was a really obvious question I should have asked myself. If I was acting better, I would have asked myself that question.
No, you would have had to be in your 40s to know. This is why age matters.
I don't know. Because I don't think she thought he was, he's a good man. That seemed clear. Although sometimes he did weird things that were dangerous and bad. I didn't know that he was being infected by some kryptonite thing.
No.
Kryptonite thing.
So, what was he? I think she suspected something big because so many weird things happened in their town. But I don't think there was any. What would you have thought he was doing?
I don't know. I thought that you thought that he was like some kind of bad guy, but you kept hanging around.
Yeah, well, she would. That feels like long.
You judge her? She's a little bit clever though. Clark was not so
Thank
clever.
Hello. Hi. My question is for both Ericas. Because,
Go first.
I'm going to.
Go first.
I can answer first.
yeah, because Isis is such an iconic episode. So I was wondering, Erica, if Adriana had like a more development, it was going to develop more, you were brave with Justin, but Team Dina. So, and to Erica, when you read it, because in paper, Isis was like another switch body, another possession episode. But the end is so iconic that it instantly like shot in the top of the favorite episode. So what was your reaction when you read it? Like, okay, this is at the end, this Clark tells Lois the truth. So what do you thought when you read it?
Okay, so those are two questions, right?
Yeah,
okay.
for Erica, for
Erica C, begin.
And if she knows that the other had like more a prominent role, because I feel like she was dropped out like very quick.
Truth be told, Erica. I was cast as Adriana Tomez, and she was supposed to turn into Isis. So then the story.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's not personal, I don't think. However, I don't know what happened. I got hired, and then the intention was for my character to be possessed and turn into. But for whatever reason, I think I didn't do a good job.
No, it's financial because they already had me there and they didn't want to pay somebody else to probably come in. They're like, just make Erica do it.
Honestly, this is the thing about
Very
TV
creative.
shows. More often than not, there's like it's a financial decision, but I'm not like, I have no idea, but the original, I was cast and the role was supposed to have a longer, at least that's what I was told. Or it was just that, and then the possibility, and then it ended up going to Erica. I don't know because we don't always learn the ins and outs of all of this. And at the time, I have this feeling I also might have been doing something else too, so like I don't really know but more often than not, it's like some other reason why this happens, but it would have been cool. And then I would have been a superhero.
They were really caught up in Lois and Clark train too. At that point, so they'd be like, it'd be so great if Clark could see her in a short skirt.
It's true. A lot of the time it had to do with wardrobe. It did.
You're like, yeah, and then he has to save her.
I was told that, this is not my question, go.
I don't understand what you asked me. I'm so sorry. I'm
Sorry, my
focusing.
English is better written than speaking, sorry. So, when you hear about ISIS, you thought it was like a normal episode where Lois was possessed. So it's okay. But at the end, we have this scene when Clark tells Lois the truth. So I don't know what was the reaction because finally Clark told Lois the truth.
I really don't remember that at all. I have to be quite honest, and I'm sorry if I'm making everybody in the room upset.
She joked something that she was like, I already know. Like,
Oh, but was this the one where I run across the thing and jump on it?
yes.
Yeah. I sound like I'm just really airy. I am. But it's a lot. Listen, next year's 25 years since this show started. So like, let's just be somewhat gentle. What I will say, when she finally gets to find out, I was excited, and then I was like, okay, what is she gonna do? Let's have her do something different. Please don't let her simper and like start crying or whatever. And I was like, what if I just run and tackle you and you fall over? Because that would be different.
Very sweet. I love
So
it.
that was kind of fun. It was an opportunity to try to be a little more creative.
Yeah. Just for that scene, ISIS is one of the top favorites for me.
Oh. Well, sorry, I didn't remember.
You remembered that.
Thank you.
Next.
Hi, thank you for being here and thanks for your performance on Smallville. I just finished reading Girl on Girl.
You did?
I did. I just finished it before I arrived here. So my question is, yeah, it was heavy. Kind of broke my heart.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Did you feel like it resonated for you?
I think so. I mean, I think there were a lot of current events or pop culture events that I grew up with, but I didn't realize how much it impacted people that were, actors. So I guess my question is for everyone. What was it like being a young actress in the early 2000s, and what advice would you give a young actress in the industry today?
Look at us all just trying to curate our answers. Listen, not that story, not that story, not that story.
A lot of realistic stories. There's a lot of like, keep your clothes on. It's okay. It's okay to say no.
That is the thing. It's okay to say no.
I think that was the biggest thing I took away from it was like, I did turn down things because I felt uncomfortable. And it's okay to say no. It's not going to ruin your life. It's not going to ruin your career.
No matter what they tell you.
Your career is objectifying yourself and making yourself feel uncomfortable. You're not going to do a good job.
And I think again, it's like, it's the clothes or the not clothes thing for certain people, but it was the inability to use my voice at all.
Yes, nobody would listen.
And I didn't have it.
And even if they would, we didn't feel comfortable enough to say something.
I was just going to say, even if they would, like you were too scared to say no to an opportunity. You were too. Pardon?
I'm going to lose this job.
I'm going to lose the job, and that was like, I was a kid actor, and then I started again in my 20s, and I was so desperate to jump back. Not desperate. Whoa. Not desperate, but I was so eager to get back in the industry that saying no to an opportunity just seemed insane. I want this job, I want this opportunity. So not to say that I did, but yeah, say no, or if you're uncomfortable. I gained that skill definitely as I got older.
I think it's also just time. I think that's honestly, even if we were living back in that era, I feel just now like I'm just gonna go like F you.
Yeah.
if it comes down to it. You know, like I don't know that probably all the things culminating together, but I really do feel like when you're young, it is so hard to say no, especially when you're a nobody, quote unquote. You've never done anything, it's your first thing. You know, people put you in this pressure position, and sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, my daughter is 19, she's on a pilot right now, and we were just talking about this, like, I'm able to guide her because I didn't have me, you know, and she earned this opportunity, you know, she's worked her way to get to it, and all these little things. I'm like, you're gonna have to pass, you're not gonna get the deal you want. She doesn't wanna pass, so you're gonna have to live with the deal that you agreed to. All of those things that I didn't know, and now she's on set and she's having a great time. I didn't know I could have relationships with writers and directors and producers. I just was like, I'm just don't breathe too hard and they'll keep you around, you know? And so I'm like, no, understand like the value you bring to the set, your talent, your energy, you know, you're a big part of the team. Like, so even just, I don't even know if anyone makes us feel that way so much or if we feel that way. A few years ago, I read a bunch of biographies and everyone from like Tina Fey to Michelle Obama to Rick Ross, and they all had very different career paths, very different life paths. They all at certain points in their life was like, somebody's holding me back. People are against me. Nobody was really against them. They just didn't have their opportunity yet.
But I
who
think when you want to break into something too though, you always feel like you're a bit of a fraud.
Yeah.
Right? You always feel like, am I what I want to be, or am I who I think I am? And am I mean, I think you need to be a believer in yourself and be a bit of a fraud in order for other people to start being convinced as well. But I think your daughter having you to guide her.
Imagine we had us.
I was gonna say, so
I
lucky.
think the thing is a level of support. So if you're surrounding, like to really, if I had a girl asking me that, the first thing I would talk to her about is how she feels about herself as a human being, right? And sometimes we only learn confidence as we fall down and get up, or just life teaches us some lessons and we realize, oh, it will be okay. But what I lacked deeply was support from really, really strong, good people. I lacked confidence in myself. And then I lacked the community of other women. And at that point, there was such a sense of being pitted against other people that oftentimes you would show up on a set and you knew you were part of that specific puzzle piece that was going to cause problems. And you can end up on a set with a really kind woman, like I did with Kristen, or you can end up on a set where they will not speak to you because you are the love interest that's coming. And then that creates
Which is why I get asked that question all the time.
And we get this place where we feel alone and scared, and it's this kind of divide and conquer scenario. And now there's a little bit more strength that I find because there's other women that I talk to and I'll be like, is that happening to you? You know, or I go into a set and everybody's much more friendly and it really helps.
That is sort of what,
sorry, no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that is sort of what the book talks about too, though, is this idea that it is how we started to get pitted against each other. And a lot of it is the texts have changed. So when you read a text now, it's rare that you're going like, wait, underneath this is just a bunch of people hating women. Like, I don't feel it as much as I did in the early 2000s when I first started. And I think that if you can help a young woman to be able to analyze text and see if that is an underlying principle, then you just don't do it, or you can note it. But then there's the other part of it, which is being an older person. We're not old, but we've been around for a while on set that young women can come to, which is what I've found is the best way. Like if someone's 17 and a girl on set and she's got a bunch of kissing scenes and she's never kissed a boy before, like she can talk to me and I will champion her and I will be there because I didn't have it. And that's what it should be like. It should be wonderful and positive and a place for self-expression to be. If you want to have a scene where you're super sexy and whatever, great, as long as the text underlying and the people you're working with don't secretly hate women. You know? Like, I think that's really
also,
important.
statistically, like, it's like 9 male roles to 1 female role. So not only are we pitted against each other in the storyline, 50% of the population is vying for 1 job. When we could like band together and realize like, actually, we're not fighting for 1 piece of the pie, there's a whole damn pie that's available. And so that, you know, that gives way for people to be more creative. I always say, you know, look at someone like Felicia Day. She went and created her own stuff. People were giving her a job, she made her own job. Issa Rae is a great one. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, you're not going to make a room for me, I'm going to make my own room. So yes, while we're in opportunities that have been given to us, we can advocate for each other. I love being like the older person on set. I am older. I'm not afraid of that. I'm older than most of the crew on the set. I'm like, oh, I'm from back when we shot film. Totally. Yes.
Yeah.
We
Remember to hear that? Yeah, so we roll out, and then it would take like 30 minutes to get back.
Yeah, we had to like use the tape for our eye. Now they're just like, no, I did it all digitally, but behind the scene, I didn't even see you, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that I'm like, oh, I have knowledge. I have stuff to share. So, but we have to be in the room for that to happen. So there has to be roles for older women so that we can be there.
And it has to be sisterhood. Like, here's the thing: if I don't get a role, I want my best friend to get the role.
Yes.
You know, like I'm pushing forward other women too. Like, it shouldn't be a jealousy or a rivalry. At this point, we need to push each other forward.
I think what, like, the inspiring younger actors and speaking to them, giving them knowledge, that's what I was going to say earlier, is that's something I love to do, and I feel so, because I didn't have it, and I worked with a woman when I was younger who actually told me exactly that. The woman that she had worked with when she first started gave her a hard time. So then she gave me a hard time. And so I was going, I'm gonna cut this, like, right here, because I don't want that. So whenever I work with someone, I do want them to feel warm and comfortable, because the more comfortable you are, the more creative you can be, the more confident you feel, the better the work will be. So, I mean, the product will be better regardless, so, yeah.
And you just feel good about yourself. Yes. That's nice.
Share my knowledge.
It was a great question.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm from a little bit of the older generation, and that is not just, what y'all are discussing is not just in your world.
Yeah.
That's in all the worlds. And I had to advocate for myself, so, more power to you.
Oh, did you not feel advocated for?
Oh my goodness, no, I was in the steel industry. No.
No. Yeah, absolutely, please.
No.
Okay, yeah, you had to be, yes.
No, I was the only one. Yeah, but they figured that out. My question is, and now I run them. My question is for Erica and Kristen, and I noticed that the cadence of Smallville is almost musical the way y'all speak in all of the episodes. And Erica specifically was a rapid fire discusser, right? And Kristen was very mild and even keeled. Was that planned, or did your personalities just choose that?
I feel like yours was a little more planned because of Lois being Lois. And you put a lot of thought into that, I think.
It's generous.
That's true. Is it not true?
See women loving women.
I think so. Listen, I drank a lot of coffee.
She also has a bit of anxiety.
But what I did find that they made me do really weird transitions in their lines, and so the quicker that I spoke, the easier it was to go from and kind of try to make sense of it. And so in that, I think that it created a neuroses to her that was I didn't plan for her to be neurotic, but she ended up being a little bit that way. So, I don't know. Yeah, but let's take Kristen's answer because that feels...
I definitely didn't plan anything. I think that's just the way. But I do think Lana was a lot more interior, and she was I think she was often going through something and rarely was free. She rarely had a sense of freedom to her. She was always constrained by something, somebody, a situation. And yeah, I think that's maybe part of it. I mean, I guess maybe that's how I spoke.
We do get a lot of stuff out of the way something's written as well. So you have to try to figure out a way to make it work with the actual dialogue that you're giving them. So.
And y'all were extremely different personalities, and it was a good break because it was easy for us to love Kristen and then love Lois too.
And then
so
with the mania to come.
It was really great to see both of you. Thanks.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies. I have just one
want to give you your flowers and say that I know you said that being a female in the industry was an uphill battle and everything you went through in the early, late 90s. Now you got me saying it. Late 90s. But what I wanted to say is that my question is for everyone in here. Okay, was it just me, or did everybody want to sit here and call Clark a dumbass every time he screwed it up with Lana, knowing full well he was never going to be with her, and I'm still sitting there hanging on to hope? Like, come on.
He was a moron.
Yeah, we were living in the realm of Eros. It was all about desire, thus they could never be together.
But thank you for what you do.
Thank
you.
So I'm late to the superhero world, but I started with Smallville, and I guess my question is, when I watch movies, I kind of base a lot of what I'm watching off of what I've seen from you guys. So the question is, did you think in the early 2000s when you started doing this that you would become such icons to the superhero community?
No. I never in a million years thought that I would be sitting here with all of you, and I know a bunch of you by name. I know what you do for a living. We have conversations. We have a relationship, and that we can be here 25 years later and be at a convention for this show. And we're all here, and we've built this fan community together. I don't know, it's pretty amazing, and I could never have anticipated that, not in a million years.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't know. I mean,
Totally.
I would have been even more crazy than I was then.
Yeah, you would have been more crazy because you would have been like, oh my god, this is legit. This is it.
Somebody's gonna ask me why I wore this outfit. I thought that. Here's the fun art. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Hello, ladies. I'm wondering if you can think back on your career and if you have a moment or situation that you can pinpoint where you felt very uncomfortable, and describe it as you can, and how did you navigate through that?
Listen, we all have an answer to this, but it's...
We should all have a good lawyer. Honestly, if you just say, I'm gonna call my lawyer, they're like, you know what, we're good. I thought so.
That's a hard thing to answer because it's so personal, and it's, I think we've all been through it in multiple different ways, and probably multiple different times.
Yeah.
It's a great question. It's just one of those things, it's you don't necessarily want to relive some of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's yours to keep and make you a better actor.
What I will say about the one experience I had is it was my fellow actor, a guy that I was working with, that was my most supportive advocate. And I was emotional, I didn't want to do it, I was shaking and staring at him, and he looked at me and he goes, you can leave if you want. And I will never forget that level of kindness. And I didn't leave. But again, I've learned to look back on that and go, that's okay, I'm only human.
You were supported.
Right? And I was supported by a fellow actor, and that's a good story. I mean, we're up here talking about all the other stuff that happens as women, with men and all that, but I have to say, so many times in my life, the men that I've worked with have been incredibly, incredibly.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
100%.
9 times out of 10, thank God. Yeah. At least 8 times out of 10. Yeah.
So we need to wrap you.
No.
I do have a question myself.
Rapid fire?
Can I do one rapid fire?
Come on.
Okay,
There's only a few left. We can do
This
this.
is for Kristen and for Erica. Kristen, did you and Tom ever have those quick conversations? So, you think this is the year you're going to find out my secret? And then Erica, you're like, is this the year we're going to have a romance instead of a bromance? Was there ever those talks?
No.
Yes. I was like, when do I get to find out? How dumb do I have to be for the next 5 episodes? Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
How does it feel
feel like watching episodes of yourself? Like
Complicated, embarrassing,
Weird,
fun.
fun.
I don't watch myself. I actually don't think I've watched much of anything I've ever done, so I don't know how I keep getting employed.
You know, it's funny. It is tough, right? Like all of us who used to have answering machines, you know, you hate your voice when you hear it on the answering machine. But I will say, athletes watch their tape to get better. And so I've taken that approach. Maybe 15 years ago or something, whenever I started doing Supernatural, we would live tweet it. We would all get together, and it's easier to watch it if you're on ensemble. But I kind of took that attitude. I was like, well, if I don't know what I'm doing wrong, how can I make it better?
Hence why I'm shocked I'm still working.
But yeah, I think it's important. We also tape our auditions now. So we can go back and watch it, which could be good or bad for our neuroses. But like, I think it's important. The knowledge is power. So I just, in this moment, I choose to watch it and critique it. Positively, though. Because everybody else will do it the other way.
Okay, let's let everybody ask a question and we can just like, one of us will answer each question.
Okay, sure.
Awesome.
Okay, go.
I didn't start watching the show until a couple years ago because I wasn't born when it.
Yeah, you were small.
We understand. Anyway, my question is, what's it like knowing that your show touched so many different generations of people?
You guys have to answer that.
It is so moving, especially lately. I don't know what happened, but now we're getting all of you guys, like the younger generation coming up, and they're fans of the show. I think there's some, I don't know, it's a TikTok thing. There's like some nostalgia moment that everybody loves these like pure, kind of innocent, old, early aughts television series. Anyway, it's lovely and it means the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So there were a lot of episodes where you guys got physical fight scenes. Was there martial arts instructions on set, and does anyone still do that?
Yes, there was help for us.
Stunt coordinators.
Stunt coordinators, and I don't still do that. I'd like to try, but things are hurting. I do lines though. That's inappropriate.
Hi. I was just wondering if I'm bouncing off of another question. I was wondering if you had any advice on where to start to become an actress?
I always say start local. Like, there's always going to be a community theater. Make your own stuff. You got a phone, you got a whole camera in your phone. You got a portal to the world. So use all your creativity. Don't wait for somebody else to present it to you, is what I always think is the best way. Again, study someone like Felicia Day.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we don't have anyone on that side. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much.